listening to the Punisher Waterfowls, the Union 0430 podcast. Brought to you by Real Geese Decoys, the most technological advanced silhouette decoys on the market. And Vortex Canada, the force of optics.
Woo! Episode 78, Union 0430. I got to tell you, I'm excited. You know why I'm excited? Because Phil, Mark, myself, and Dave, we're sleuths. We've uncovered a mystery. We are investigators. And I would like to thank Mr. James Sykes. I'm really jumping the gun here because this was awesome, because James Sykes messaged us today. He listened to the episode last week, and we had talked about the regulations and some stuff that was being screwed up. I sort of made a joke about it, egg on my face, because I really didn't pay much attention to it. I just went with what was on the friggin' paper. But anyways, he brought up a good point. I told the boys about it, and then they got to work putting in a lot of man hours to solve and unravel this case, and we got it. So we got
like
the
man minutes.
Yeah, man minutes. No. It was man hours, or people hours for the liberals that are fucking listening to this. So,
Right.
Anyways, so we'll get to that. Everybody, this is episode 78. Feels good to be back into the routine. After the Christmas break we done last week's for the Happy New Year, here we are again. Episode 78, we've got Mark coming to us outside of the nation's capital in Ashton, Ontario. We've got Philly coming to us all the way from the dark side of the tracks up in Port Perry. And Dave, this one's for you, Jeff Coates. And we've got Dave coming to us all the way from Kincardine. Kincardine, that's right.
Damien's been sitting in front of a mirror practicing how to say it.
Yeah, I was doing it earlier today. I was like, Kincardine. And I was like, what? I'm like, what am I saying wrong? And I was like, Kincardine. And then I was like, Kincardine.
Kincardine.
Kincardine. And I was like, sounds better the way I says it. So, Jeff, you can continue to laugh at us. Boys, great to have you back again this week. We had a really, really cool guest planned for tonight. He got pulled away last minute to go on a epic hunting trip, so we can't blame him to go on a cool hunting trip to try out some new stuff, some new gear. So look forward to that upcoming episode, because going to be lots of news about some upcoming stuff. And if you followed any of our social media, you could probably put two and two together and figure out who that company is. So we'll get to that next week, but I really, really want to get into this, and let's start it. Dave, you're in the know. Philly, you really done a bunch of work with this. Mark, you're like the technical expert, and actually, I think, no, it was you, Mark, that figured out, what happened, how the mistake was made, or and a hypothesis on.
There was a collaboration.
A collaboration, yes. We are a team, ladies and gentlemen.
Today's word.
Yeah, but today's word is collaboration.
Let's talk about like what happened, like how we kind of started looking into this.
Okay. So it started because last week I had made the comment that when we were hunting, I was of the understanding that the 8th of January was the end of duck season in my area. And somebody had mentioned, well, they're hearing that the regulations is screwed up and it's actually the 9th of January that the season ends. And I had made a comment and I was like, well, I'm going to go with the paper that I have, not what I'm reading on Facebook. That was my comment, right? And we left it at that. We recorded the show last Wednesday. It went up live on Monday. Dave, you put it up Monday morning. So the show went went up on Monday morning, and then this morning in the Punisher Instagram account, we get an email, we get a message from James Sykes, and I hope I'm saying your name right, James. And he says, yeah, it is screwed up, but you need to look at the Sunday, the late season for the non-Sunday hunting dudes in Southern Ontario, right? So I took the message, sent it to our group chat, and then they scurried off and got into put on their investigate. And listen, like, it's no big deal. Like, Phil is a cop and it is his kind of job, but you know, he's not getting paid for this
No,
stuff. So
that would be a detective.
oh,
I did pass a course though.
Phil's a bicycle officer.
One of those mandatory
So
2-day
so
courses.
we'll rewind this a
Okay.
few weeks, or actually we'll rewind this to like August. So
ooh,
for me, it's like a rite of passage. Come August, to go to your local, in my case, Shoppers Drug Mart, because they all have like the Canada Post kiosks, and that's where I physically walk in. I tap my card and I get my stamp. Like
I
that.
just I gotta interrupt you for a second there, Phil. For our American listeners, I'm not sure where you get your stamp, but where we can get it is similar to your CVS. So I'm not sure if you can buy your duck stamp at your CVS, but
We get it at sporting goods stores and stuff.
okay.
So-
Sorry, Phil.
To me, part of duck season is going to Shoppers Drug Mart, because it was just the closest place, because they had a Canada Post,
Mhm.
to buy my stamp. I sit down with the pen, I fill it out. Like, to me, like that's like the inauguration of your upcoming waterfowl season.
Mhm.
Like, I don't go to like a sporting, because now I guess some sporting goods stores are selling. I think Gagnon Sports is selling stamps. But anyways, side note. So I get a piece of paper. It's called a regulations. Right? Now, I'm going to go out on a limb, and it's a big limb, but it's my understanding, to pass the hunter safety course and your firearm safety course, there is some reading and writing involved. The same sort of reading and writing that you can do with this piece of paper.
Phil's getting pretty patronizing here, isn't
Now,
So, I don't look into the late goose season until like now, or like a few weeks ago, to figure out when it is. I'm concentrating on current season, not next season. So like 2 weeks ago, I go online just to see when the late goose is, and I read the dates. I go into my calendar and I'm like, it's a Sunday to Sunday. That makes no sense. But whatever. I don't work for the federales, so I don't
No.
make up the dates. But I thought like that made no sense.
for the people that are kind of like, well, why doesn't that make sense? Well, Sunday to Sunday for a place that is no Sunday gun hunting, like that's what this late season is. This is for people that live in an area where there's no Sunday gun hunting allowed. So it's like the extra makeup days. Is that kind of
Yes.
sorry? So a Sunday to Sunday, that's 2 days that don't work. So anyway, sorry.
Yeah. So I was like dead set. I'm like, yeah, it's Sunday to Sunday. Like that just doesn't ring it. Like something's just not right. Whatever. So then we have this chat today in regards to this whole Sunday or late season gun hunting fiasco. So I go to my truck. I get said piece of paper with dates on it, and I read it. I used highlighter. So we're going to refer to just the southern district, because that's where like the vast majority of waterfowl hunting occurs, at least in my opinion, in Ontario. So duck season. This is the 2021-2022 season. Ducks, September 25th to January 8th. There is no other date restrictions, whether you can Sunday gun hunt or not Sunday gun hunt. There's your said dates. Geese, or sky pandas as I like to call them. There's the early goose, which is September 9th to the 19th. Now, these are the same regs that's available to everybody that buys a stamp and hunts waterfowl in the province of Ontario. So as I read this, your early goose is September 9th to the 19th. Now there's stipulations. There's little letters beside these dates. So the first one is September 9th to 19th, subsection C. In municipalities where Sunday gun hunting is permitted. So you're allowed to hunt geese during that early gear season where there's Sunday gun hunting. The next date, September 9th to the 19th, except for Sundays. So this would mean to me that I can hunt geese during September 9th to the 19th, except on Sundays. And there's a little D next to it. Said D says, in municipalities where Sunday gun hunting is not permitted. I don't have any qualms about this. I understand this like clear as day. We go further. There's also a goose season of September 25th to the December 19th, sorry, December 29th with a C. That's for the areas with the Sunday gun hunting. So if you have areas that have Sunday gun hunting, goose closed December 29th. Furthermore, there's a September 25th to January 8th with the letter D once again. That is for the areas with no Sunday gun hunting. Again, I read this clear as day. Furthermore, there's an additional late goose season of February 26th on the paper. February 26th, which is a Saturday, the day before Sunday, to March 5th, also a Saturday. And again, this is for areas with no Sunday gun hunting. Again, I have no confusion. If you go online, so what I did is I Googled 2021 Ontario duck regs, waterfowl regs, whatever. First hit on Google is a link. You hit said link, they'll take you to the Canada website. There's a PDF. If you go into that PDF, it is a carbon copy of said paper regs. If you just start scrolling down, it's basically just, I don't know why it's on there twice.
Listen, Phil, not to be enthralled with your excellent tutelage here, but I think we have it set up that someone can do a split screen and show this.
Marcus?
Story time with Phil is over.
Mark's gonna do visual aids.
I just saw Damien nodding off.
Hey, fist yourself.
Hey,
But if you scroll down online, this is laid out online. And if you scroll down and read late goose season for this season, as Marcus has written, no, that's not the right
This is
one.
the PDF version, Phil.
That's the PDF. We need the
one
other
you
version.
have. So
when you
for
go-
anyone who can actually look at this, you'll see highlighted right here is the dates. Where is it?
For all our
February.
listeners, this is where it pays to be a watcher.
So from February 26th to March 5th, and then it says except for any Sunday within this period. So February 26th is a Saturday. March 5th is a Saturday. So that's a Saturday to Saturday. And then also keeping in mind for geese other than Canada geese and cackling geese, there is also a late season or spring season, and it's the same dates and same except for any Sunday within this period. So that's on the PDF.
yeah, that's on the PDF that you actually get when you buy your stamp. Okay, now
Yeah.
Mark.
So here is if you scroll down, like Phil said, past the PDF to the actual web page, and it has all the dates for each season there. And then for Canada geese and cackling geese, it says clear as mud, February 27th to March 6th, which is a Sunday.
But all the other
Sunday.
dates line up though.
Say it again.
Everything else is correct.
Everything else is correct. We went through it, and we didn't, not now, just in this screen, we went through it and everything seems correct. The only discrepancy is that date, February 27th to March 6th. And also for the geese other than Canada geese and cackling geese, it's also incorrect. Or I should say, it also states February 27th to March 6th, which is a Sunday to a Sunday. And in investigating this, we look back at the 2021 calendar for February and March. And these dates in 2021 are Saturday to Saturday. So I'm wondering, we're not 100% sure, but we have an inkling. There was a little bit of copy and paste. Something didn't get edited properly. And last year's dates were left. for some reason on the web page. All the rest of the regs are good.
Now, the only thing that we need to add to this, so if somebody has it in your head right now that, well, this is what it said, this is what I read, it's black and white, regardless on if you're going to argue this, that I had the PDF in my hand or I took it from the internet. Mark, could you just go back to the actual, not the PDF, but when you scroll down past? So if you look at it, even though it gives the wrong dates, the 27th to the 6th of March, it says in parentheses, except for any Sunday hunting within this period. So even though the dates are Sunday to Sunday, they still say you still cannot hunt on Sunday. So don't think that that's going to be your leg to fight it in court if a conservation officer pulls you off and says you can't be doing this. Don't say, well, the dates say the 27th of Feb to the 6th of March. It also says that you can't hunt Sunday. So I hope that clears it up for anybody, especially the Southern Ontario people that are looking for that late season goose. I hope that clears it up. James, thanks so much for it. And for anybody that was listening before Mark came on and you think Phil was
Spit it out.
Doing a good job.
doing a good
Thanks,
job.
No, Phil, you know what? You were doing a great job explaining it and giving the story. It's just Mark had it all geared up and I didn't want to like duplicate what you were doing. That's all.
What fun.
Phil did his part.
What fun would that? What fun would that be? He says. What fun would that?
Yeah,
be?
guys, we got to fill an hour.
Yeah,
if,
true.
if you look at
This
it,
is this
the
is
only
true.
real thing. If
Like, we've
people are
already killed-
following both sets of regs, if you think about it, if people are following both sets of regs and they're not hunting in the Sundays, the worst thing that's going to happen is someone's going to miss the Saturday.
Yeah, that's exactly it. The worst thing that'll happen is you'll miss the Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as you hunt the Monday to Saturday, you're golden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I gotta commend Phil, especially Philly, because you reached out on to your network of friends to try and get last year's regs and stuff like that. So I really appreciate the work that you guys put into doing this, because you know what, I'm sure there's somebody that's listening that's wondering, just like James said, right? So
Now,
Just call
You
me
guys-
Super Sleuth.
ooh, no, not Super Sleuth. We got to come up with a cooler name. You know what? Dick
Sherlock
Tracy.
Homeboy.
No, Dick Tracy.
so
I'm just-
have you guys run into any other problems? Like, for example, every single year, the same two people message me and they ask me what the dates mean and when it starts and when it stops, because they read it that say it's September 25th until December 29th. Like,
Yep.
can they read it that it ends on December 29th? Does that mean I can't hunt the 29th? And that was one thing that came up, and I correct them every single year. But is there anything else that maybe we could do to clarify how to read this thing, or anything you guys have come up with, just so that it's all in one place that we can send people to?
You know what?
Well, I want to bite on that, but
Yeah, do it. Bite
Do
on
it.
it.
Yeah, that like let's help people out here.
Yeah.
I'm all for helping people out.
Okay.
But if
People helping people.
right, and yes, if you have questions, like I said, there's no such thing as a stupid question, right? But if it's something like a continuous question where someone doesn't get the concept of a date to a date for something, and you explain it and it doesn't register, then I don't know if I could say people are beyond help. I mean, yeah, we can still explain it again. I mean, I work with people like that. So
What I'm
it's
thinking
not
is
like-
happening is that they say, "Hey, what are the dates?" They ask someone, and Buddy says it opens on the 25th and it closes on the 29th. And then they don't want to ask Buddy what it means, so they message me instead of reading it themselves. Right? So
Well,
that's the big one, yeah.
and you know what? We've got to, and this isn't a slag against anybody. So like, fucking cool your jets and don't get too mad at us. But we're saying it the way it is. but take your time to read as well, right? Like Phil put up, I'm looking for the regulations for last year. And you know, people are saying, well, here's regulation. Well, that's this year. Well, I don't need this year. I asked for last year. Like read as well. Like just take a second and let it register. I had to do it because I've got a mental fucking injury, and so it takes me 5-6 times to read something to fully understand it. So you know, do it. Like take your time to read it.
It's coloring books and crayons for some.
Now,
And don't eat the crayons.
to be fair,
I love him.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Mark, if you can do the split screen again and go to the Waterfowl Heritage Days section, that I actually sometime, like I think it was last year, the wording on it just kind of.
I'm gonna do it in a PDF though.
Yep.
Yeah. Don't do it on the online version.
So if you go
Waterfowl
to,
Heritage Days.
Accurate.
Yeah.
so if you go to that, hunters under 18 years of age can hunt on the Heritage Day. And every year we get 18-year-old hunters that are out hunting by themselves because they legally can, shooting with their buddy that's 18 as well. They shoot a limit of birds. You have to read the whole thing. It says the following rules are in effect during the Heritage Day. Young hunters must be accompanied by a licensed mentor who is not a minor. Adults acting as a mentor
Oh, there it is. Sorry.
they must have a valid migratory game permit. They cannot carry or hunt. They may not hunt or carry a firearm, and they can accompany no more than 2 young hunters. So I kind of ran into a bit of trouble here last year because both my kids were looking to hunt that day. And the way that Ontario is with the whole guns and stuff, it's the 15-year-olds. Like if you have a 16-year-old and a 13-year-old, you can take them both out because the 15-year-old can have his own gun and then the 13-year-old can use the other one. That's where I ran into problems. This is the section where I always have the most problems. So I just wanted to highlight that so that everyone sees that. But I don't know.
It's good. And just, you know what, everybody, you're listening to this, and some people are listening to this and you're, well, yeah, it's written there. It's not hard to understand. And you know what, but some people are just skimming over it. They're either skimming over it or they're looking for other people to provide them with the answer. And you know what? I can tell you, and Phil, I'm sure you can chime in on this too. When it comes to a court of law, saying your buddy told you,
you'll lose.
It's not going to hold up. So it's in your benefit to ask the questions, and just like James did. Listen, this is what I've noticed. This is funky. What's going on with it? And so now we figured this out today. So even right up until just before we come on the show, when Mark figured out, like, looking at last year's regs and stuff. So tomorrow being Thursday, I'll send an email to the powers that be and just let them know this is what's going on. Yes, Philip.
Did you know that you can hunt snow geese during the late goose season?
I'm
That's
pretty
geese
sure.
other than Canada and cackling.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
Do you want to bring that up again?
No.
Um,
I'm having flashbacks.
You know, now that you mention that, you know, the flashback that occurred for me is last year when that person when someone posted online the snow goose they shot during the early season.
That's a no.
See, because it says Canada
That's a
geese
bad one.
September 9th to the 19th. The
That's a
geese
bad
other
one.
than Canada geese.
Wasn't there a guy in Pembroke that done that too, Mark?
There was,
There's been a few people.
Mm.
but that wasn't the exact situation. That was a little different, slightly.
But that's still
yeah.
a paddling.
Yeah, it's still a bad
Boy, it's definitely a paddling.
Mm.
Yeah.
Anyways, you know what? Fellas?
Let's talk about other stuff.
Every episode, I like to be able to walk away with a little feather in my hat that makes me proud that we're doing the show, and the fact that James messaged us and he picked up on this, and we've looked at, not that we've solved any great mystery or anything like that, but it really it makes me feel good that someone's listening and they're paying attention and they're looking at stuff, and then they fire us back a message saying, listen, could you look into this, or could you discuss this on the show, because it seems wonky to me. So I really appreciate it. I know Dave and the boys, you guys all really appreciate it too. So please keep it coming. So
before we move on, can I do one more thing?
Absolutely.
So I saw it online, people were asking, because the deer harvest has to be reported on January 14th. So if you're listening to this on Monday, you're late, because we're filming this on Wednesday, the 12th.
Yeah.
But people were asking where do they submit the harvest reports for ducks and geese. There isn't one, because it's not a provincial thing. However, some people will get this nice little survey.
I got mine.
So I didn't get one this year. My son got one.
Yeah.
But basically you fill in like where you hunted most, and kind of what birds or animals that you harvested, and where, and what days you hunted.
Mm-hmm.
Fill it out, send it in. Your postage is paid, so just thought I'd point that out.
Does it ask if you use a 10 gauge or a 28 gauge?
No, it just assumes that if you have a 28 gauge, never mind. I won't finish that joke.
We do need to sidebar a little bit, and this is going to seem very, very random for me to bring this up, but we've got to have a little bit of patience with Phil too, because Phil has been quarantining now for the last week, and not because Phil has COVID, because Phil doesn't get COVID gets Phil.
Yeah.
And so we've got to make sure that, Philly's not out just destroying shit. So he's
COVID showed up in this. COVID showed up in this house, ran its fucking course. It got to me and said, "Fuck that." Nope.
I'm
pass. COVID's in quarantine right now.
Too much nicotine and heat.
I want to think it was the bird dog. Copious amounts of bird dog.
Well, he doesn't have any bird dog.
Oh,
I do.
Oh, do
but
you?
Today's episode, and we're going to make a reach out. Today's episode is unofficially sponsored by Maverick Distilleries Barn Burner Whiskey.
I do believe, and Barn Burner, you can watch this show because you'll be getting an email tomorrow from Phil, because
phone call.
Oh, a phone call.
I'm fucking old school.
So, hey, you guys can watch the show and you can see what we're all about. But I think I forget the
Phil
guys.
was born in 1925,
Yeah. I do appreciate, and I'm sorry that I forget the guy's name, but there was a guy that messaged me a couple weeks ago, and said, "Hey, listen, you guys need to try this whiskey. You really need to try it because it's so good." And it's a Newfoundland whiskey, which piqued my interest. It's called Signal Hill, I believe it's called. We've got to try it. Have you had that, Philly?
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, sorry.
I wouldn't say I would take the Barn Burner over the Signal Hill.
Okay.
Like it's good.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it's good. Like everyone has their own tastes, but
their own palate.
Currently,
I'd like to know how many people watch our show and say like, "Oh, they're drinking that today. I'd like to try. I'm going to try that because of these boys."
We drink every episode.
Exactly, but I just want to know.
Me and Damien do.
Yeah.
Well, Mark doesn't drink, and Dave's like a coiled spring, man, ready to fucking release.
Door.
Just waiting for a fire call to head out through the door. And you know what, Phil? I've been doing this. Well, I don't do it anymore. I'm retired, but I've been doing this fighting bad guys for a long time. And you know what? I always sided with cops. I'm like, you know what? Cops are my people. I dig cops and I understand what they're doing. But you know what? I'm starting to lean towards firefighters now. Like they are just like, they're on the fucking ball, dude.
Yeah.
Are you well?
And they do calendars. Like, now I don't want to see Dave in a calendar.
No.
What? Fucking knock it, man.
I'd just be happy if Dave had pants on this episode.
Shit.
There's that one
Shit.
time he gets running up.
Please
through a
don't call
fucking
me out
car.
on this.
He's got his gitch on. Yeah. I pretty near saw Dave's hairy ass.
Yeah.
Boys, went up. So the first step in me getting my dog Lander, we're planning on breeding her come the spring. So the first step today was to go get her hips and elbows looked at up at the vet up in Campbellford. So I drove up to English Line Veterinary Services. Dr. Al, I forget his last name. Anyways, awesome dude, field trial guy. I've met him a couple years ago and stuff. Super awesome dude. Anyways, so got up there, dropped Lander off, and I had a couple hours to burn. And you know what's so awesome about this whole podcast and this waterfowl hunting community and stuff is that we've got friends. It seems like we've got friends no matter where we go. Like, you could always reach out to someone that's, in that general area. So I dropped Lander off and I reached out to Brian McRae, or he's been on the show a couple times, I believe. Been on the show, and he's, an Ontario Federation of Anglers and Hunters dude, big time trapper.
He's
Wow.
also a firefighter.
Ooh, well, I like him even more now.
And
You
I
guys
would
can
look at
hang up
him
on
in a
Phil.
calendar.
Well, that just got awkward.
But
You're
anyway,
jealous because you're the handsome one on the show, remember?
you
Anyway,
are
continue
you
on.
are a handsome devil, Phil.
No.
You know
Shit,
what?
You're fucking backpedaling now.
Well, hey, listen, I'm still siding with the firefighters, but you are a handsome dude. Like, can you imagine Philly on his bicycle with those fucking shorts on and shit?
Here we
I'm
go.
waiting for the
Phil, huh?
picture. If anybody listening to this show works with Phil, you know what you have to do. Understand the assignment.
Here it is. Anyone in the Oshawa area sees Phil out on his
Not
bike,
Oshawa.
No.
wherever he's working as a police officer thing. If you see Phil on his bike and you
We'll
get a
pay.
picture,
We'll
send it to
pay.
us,
Yeah.
I will send you beard oil, a shell saver, and a sticker.
Ooh.
All for a picture of Phil on his bicycle.
You got to be able to tell it's Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No random photos of fucking
Yeah.
people on bikes.
Yeah.
30911.
That's awesome. No,
If you're really
I
good with Photoshop, we will accept that.
You
Yeah.
guys are horrible.
But
It's
continuing with what
because we
Damien
love you.
said, like going on with like people from all around the province, and you met Brian McRae there.
Yeah.
Another interesting one was we do our hunt camp every year,
Yeah.
and we've left our chat group open this year, and everyone's still talking in it.
Yeah.
But those guys, there's people at that camp. Most of the people didn't know each other going into the camp, and they're now like going to each other's houses and just having a beer.
Yeah.
Like,
It's awesome,
hey,
man.
I'm coming through Muskoka. What are you doing? Oh, nothing. You want to get a beer? Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
It's kind of a neat little connecting everybody together. It's great.
Yeah, it is. And I know I spoke for the both of us last night when I made that comment. Like that really made me happy to see those two dudes meet up that they never ever met before. They managed to do a hunt together on our Punisher Waterfowl weekend, and now here they are hanging out, having a beer. So it's pretty awesome. It's pretty special, and you look at it like. Now I'm getting friend requests from people down in the States. I think everybody in Ontario that knows who we are, they've already friend requested me, and then the people that don't like me, well, they've obviously canceled me now, which is fine too. I really don't give a fuck. But
People don't do
It's
that.
funny. I got a friend request from someone from the States today as well. She
Yeah.
wanted to be my sugar mama.
oh,
I'm like, send the money, honey. I got guns and lenses to buy. Send the money. Yeah. No.
You'll whore yourself out for camera lenses, wouldn't you?
Probably.
Would whore.
Not
How
gonna
many
lie.
goddamn
If
coffee
someone
cups
wants to,
do you have?
if someone wants to send me like a 600 or a 400 prime, I wouldn't say no. $20, $20.
20 bucks. 20 bucks, he says. Yeah. So
Or in
but
this case, 14 grand is 14 grand.
really? For a lens?
But buddy,
Did you need
they
the
come more
Kodiak
than
film?
that.
I'm
Lenses
you
come
know
more
what,
expensive
Phil?
than that.
You know what? We've slagged on you a bit and but I am impressed. Like your photo quality, like the tail end of the season, like you've been taking some pretty awesome pictures. I see Dixie
Adequate.
Decoy. Dixie
Adequate.
Decoy picked up one of your photos today. I seen that.
Yes, they did.
Not a big deal.
Whole.
Not a big deal.
Notice how he said tail end of the season?
Yeah.
First
Right.
part of the season.
That's when the birds look the best, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Geese, they look all the fucking same day 1 to day 105.
yeah.
Oh, but some
Brown.
have different colored cheeks.
Oh yes.
Well, you get the local birds and the migrators, right? So
Yes.
Yeah.
you should probably take some extra pictures of that next year, Phil. Like show how we could tell the difference between resident birds and migrators.
It's funny you say that. I had a picture. I guess I must have not saved it, but like legit, it was on a. It was this was mentioned I think last episode, or some episode where I took I took a friend and her boyfriend out. Like I didn't even fire the gun, but they shot a goose. Oh shit! Wasn't much bigger than a mallard.
Really?
Oh yeah, you tiny.
Little tiny thing, eh?
You know,
So
just a
wee
wee
little-
gaffer.
The wee little thing.
Yeah, just a wee gaffer. But yeah, like holding that bird up next to like say like one of like the local residents around here that are pushing like 12, 14 pounds, like the big dirty honkers. Oh yeah, there'd be a substantial size difference.
What were we talking about last night? About like a dog not being able to bring a goose in.
Yours.
Yours.
Oh
No,
no, I put up the TikTok or whatever of the dog retrieving a deer.
Oh, right. Yeah. Dog bringing a deer across the fucking river. I mean,
Yeah.
well, I'm like, Lander can't
Hold my
even
beer.
fucking Lander can't even bring a goose across a fucking field.
Yeah. Here, hold my milk bone. I got this.
But anyways, back to the Brian McRae. So we're chatting about dogs and stuff like this, right? And Brian's got a high-end dog, and he had sent it down to I believe he sent it to Scott Rumble down in
believe that
Southern Ontario.
I believe that high-end dog came from the loins of my high-end dog.
Oh, it's one of Thor's pups? Oh wow.
Is it brown?
No, it's not
Nova's
brown.
Nova's a Thor puppy.
It's not a brown dog. No. But anyways, we were chatting and stuff, and I was telling him, like, this is the plans I got for Lander and stuff like that. And he said, yeah, I'm happy with Nova, and I had her down to Scott, and Scott, trained her and done some things, and she's what I want. And then we were talking, and this whole conversation comes up. Well, I don't need a dog. I don't need a field trial dog, or I don't need a hunt test dog, right? So, and I get it. I get the what you're saying. And then Brian tells me about he shoots this duck this season, and he wings it, right? So the duck is still up, it's on the water, and Nova goes to retrieve the duck, and whenever Nova gets close to it, the duck dives and then it'll come back up a little ways away. So anyways, she managed to get up enough to catch up to it close enough that when this duck dives, she can see it under the water. And he said, like, she's just smacking like with her paws just smacking at the water, right? Because she could see the duck down in underneath the water, right? And he said, with that, bam, dog dives underwater. He's like completely submerged. Like Nova dove in the water, like down, and went down and picked this duck up underwater and brought it up. And I just thought to myself, I'm like, you don't need a field trial or a hunt test dog, but you need a dog that's got a high drive to just succeed. And that's what that dog was. That dog just knew, listen, I'm supposed to get this bird and I'm getting the bird. And that would have been impressive to be able to watch that, to watch a dog actually submerge itself completely to get a duck. That'd be pretty awesome.
When you talk about dogs with high drive, like when you see a dog that doesn't have a high drive versus a dog that does, it's crazy. Like those dogs are sitting there. Like Nala, when I shoot a bird, she is vibrating like wanting to go, and like it is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen
Because
that
it's
before.
bred into it. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So here's one for you. So one of my good buddies, Adam, he's got a golden.
Yeah.
And his golden, like I've hunted over Orion several times, and I would hunt over that dog till the day he fucking dies, hands down. He's quiet as a field mouse. He just sits and he does nothing. But when that trigger goes off, you need him to work, he will go to work and he'll come back and just sit.
Really? I'm jealous of
as
that.
as monotone as a dog can get.
Really, eh? I'm really jealous of that because
the gun goes off. I need to go pick up the dead chicken. Not a problem, Dad. Jumps out, grabs a bird, comes back. That's it.
Lander is not like that at all.
He's the complete opposite of Thor. Like Thor will sit there and like,
yeah,
you know, he's like, you know, he's chugging back the 97 octane in a big old bottle of juice. Like
all wrapped up on Mountain Dew.
Buddy, all hopped up on Mountain Dew. Let's go. But yeah, like Orion. Like I think there might actually be a picture of him on my Instagram.
That's a pretty fucking strong name for a dog, Orion.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But yeah, like he's a big old swamp collie, but you need him to work. He'll go get the job done, and he'll come back. Done.
Where the fuck do you come up with these names?
I come from.
Buddy, I got a laundry list. I got all that.
Swamp collie. I've never heard swamp collie.
Yeah, or I call him Chewbacca. He's a big old furry beast, but I love him to death. And actually, Adam and I have actually hunted in it. I don't know what we were thinking, but like the two of us go. It's just the two of us, and we brought two dogs. And Thor and Orion will get along, but you sure as shit, the one dog won't go near the other dog's dog blind.
Really? Eh?
There will be hell to pay. But out in the field, they'll work down. They will work harmoniously. They get along great, but if the one dog is in his dog blind and the other dog goes near him, I accept no responsibility for what happened to your fingers. They just turn like, I don't know if it's just a possessive thing because it's like their safe zone, right?
Yeah, could be.
But the only time I ever see Thor get fucking snarly.
Or it could be just like, listen, asshole, this is my area. You got your own area. You stick to your own side, and I'll stick to my own side.
The peas don't. The peas.
On my bed, I'd be the same way.
Yeah, the peas don't touch the carrots.
Yeah, no.
Right. The peas don't touch the carrots, so you just F right off.
Boys, we sort of kind of touched onto it last week, but really, this is just the beginning of the off season now. Like the season's really only ended about a week. How are you guys? Like, what's your plans? I know everybody's been hunting all fall, been busy. You've been, doing decoys and doing whatever. That everything's geared around hunting. When you're not hunting, you're prepping to go hunt and stuff like this. What are you doing right now? That are you just relaxing and soaking it in and sleeping in on a Saturday morning and just, you know, recharging batteries, or are you right back into, you know, chasing something else, or you know, what are you guys doing?
I know what Mark's doing, cutting wood.
Well, Mark does cutting wood all year long, so that's fine. Oh, he's sharing the screen.
Oh,
Here we go.
here we go.
Ooh, there's some wood porn for you. For those of you that,
There's some fine wood.
yeah, for those of you that are listening and not watching, it's a very nice picture of some wood.
Big picture of Mark's wood.
Yeah,
And Mark's
big,
huge bar.
yeah, Mark's big bar and his wood.
Yeah. I'm
Get
not
your
a
mind
steel
out of
guy,
the gutter, everybody. We're not talking about that.
but
We're talking about
but that is a
firewood and a saw.
it is a nice saw.
It
Well, it's
is.
a nice
I might have a little bit of saw envy when it comes to that saw.
You two will be there one day, Phil. You'll upgrade.
Oh, there might be a 572 coming down the pipe. We'll see.
Yeah.
If I could do it all over again, it would be a 572 with a 24-inch bar and a
I think we-
550.
I
with an
think we should
8-inch
have
bar.
a, you know what we
And who
could
said
do?
that?
You know what we could do? We could do some tree cutting at my place and some ice fishing.
I'll clear cut that bitch.
No, we're not clear cutting. We just
Don't-
need to
don't-
cut
don't-
a little bit.
Don't say that. I'll
What
clear-
day are you not going to be home, Damien?
Right? Yeah. No, but seriously, we
I
come
don't
down
remember
and-
this field being this big.
Yeah, exactly. As I'm getting the lady to come in and catalog all my trees and everything. She's like, "Well, I thought you said you had 25 acres of woods." Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't.
I got 25 acres.
You know, until Phil and Mark came along, and now it's cut over.
But yeah,
Boys.
I'm gonna do some cutting, shooting the camera.
Dave,
My
Yeah.
what's new? What's coming up, buddy? What
Not
have we
much,
got?
just-
What have we got on the books? We got some new swag we're working on to come out with.
Yep.
Yeah, and we got to get Phil a white sweater now for
Yes.
a strip out west. So anybody that's looking to do some snow goose hunting, we'll have a new snow goose hoodie coming out soon. Mark's showing off the new stickers and magnets that he picked up last week.
And just a reminder, if anyone goes on our store and buys a shirt, a hat,
yeah, anything.
sweater, anything,
Oh, look
Send
at
us-
all the stickers.
send us a picture of your receipt and we will send you stickers.
Yeah.
There's more.
And the reason, and just so everybody knows, the reason being is all of our merchandise is handled by a third party. So they create the items and send it directly to you, whereas Dave and I have the stickers. So that's why we need you to show us the receipt, and then we'll ship off. But I've shipped off a bunch over the last couple of days, so people are liking it. People are liking the new T-shirt with the pin-up duck. I love them, and thanks to our
Nice
friend,
work, Gregory.
yeah,
Very nice.
Greg Taylor, really nice. I got a couple other ideas that I gotta send them down the road, but yeah, so things are moving along good. This is our off season, so a lot of chance for us to get back into the books and start planning and you know, spending some extra time on building the business as opposed to hunting and trying to do a podcast.
Well, and really, this is where we start planning our camps for the season, right?
Yeah,
this
big
is when
time.
we start
Yes.
talking about, you know, what camps we're doing and where we're going.
Mhm.
Just, yeah.
Yeah,
To,
no, and
to the
good
millions of
point.
fans, hopefully I'll make it to said camps this fall.
Yeah, so
There.
and without letting too much out of the bag, we're going to do a couple different camps this year. We won't get into the details, but we'll be doing a couple different camps this year. And just like we did last year, to ensure. And I know some people. I know Dave got inundated with this last year when people said, "Well, I didn't know. How come you didn't let me know?" It's because it's not fair to let people know. We gotta leave it, put it out, first come, first serve, and then that way it's fair for everybody, right? So
I believe the term is impartial.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So as just like last year, now I know it's January, and the camp is another 9 months away, but 9-10 months away. But the only way you're going to know is by watching our social media and paying attention to us, because just like last year, one day we're going to make the announcement, and within an hour it was full. So you got to really pay attention to our social media and our announcements and stuff like that. And you know what? Maybe, I know Brian Russian's listening. You know, Brian, you pay attention, you might actually get to meet Mark and Phil. And that's what he messaged me last night. He was like, man, I really want to meet Mark and Phil. And I'm like, well, you gotta pay attention, and hopefully those two,
Yeah.
they can make
Let's not
it this
forget
year.
about Ryan.
Wow.
Sure, for what you wish for. Well, we got to
That's
get
fine.
Ryan back.
We got to get Ryan back, right? Don't forget about Ryan.
Yeah, we got to get
But
Brian
again-
back
If you're not fast, you're last.
big time. Boys, we're a little bit short on our hour, but I think we're just kind of just rambling on right now, and not really.
So it's like a normal episode.
Oh, well, I would like to think that we have some important content to get out, especially when we have a guest, because we tend to always have the shut down the guests because they really like talking, and which is awesome and makes for a great episode and all that stuff. But when it's just us four yahoos, like last week, and now 2 weeks in a row of just us four yahoos.
Hey,
Yeah.
P.S. I'll be on again next week.
Mhm. Yeah, you
Oh,
will.
available.
Dave will too, hopefully, if he's not out saving babies and kittens and stuff.
Burning dinner.
Maybe you can be watching the truck next time, Dave, and you can record while you're watching the truck.
Well, washing the truck.
Watching,
Oh,
Or that.
washing. Same thing.
monitoring the pumps.
Yeah, just
No.
make sure no one steals it.
Oh, boys, I love it. I love the chance that we're all over Ontario and we still get to hang out once a week and do this. It's pretty awesome that we get to hang out and just talk amongst ourselves, and then people listen to us and actually like it. So it's pretty awesome. With that,
This is where I
everybody,
say-
go for it.
I was just wondering if this is the point where I point out that, like, when people see a fire truck coming, they're usually happy because you're there to help. Not when they see a police car, though.
Ooh.
It depends on if you're an arsonist or not.
Don't do
Or
stupid
speeding.
shit. You won't have a problem.
Defund. You don't hear anybody say defund the firefighters, do you?
No one wants them to starve.
What'd you say, Phil?
Nobody wants them to starve.
Ah, fuck, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Man, I
Okay.
had that good joke saved up. Remember I sent it to you too? And I said, don't tell Phil, I'm going to bring this up one day. And that was like,
Send it, David.
I
Send
forget.
it.
No, but you know what the problem is? It was like September and I've been waiting for the perfect opportunity to say it. And this is the perfect opportunity. And now I can't remember it.
Typical firefighter.
Fail. Epic fail. Epic
Boom.
fail. Epic fail. Ladies and gentlemen, this was episode 78. Thank you for listening to Four Wing Nuts just get on and spew stuff. But actually, today's episode was actually educational because we solved a mystery. And I'm pretty sure the Canadian Wildlife Federation is going to erect statues for us, and we're going to be a big deal and probably get filthy rich because of this. And maybe there's a spin-off of a TV show, sort of like CSI Miami, but it'll be Waterfowl, Regs, Kingston, something like that. I don't know, but I'm just saying.
I'd like to point out 60% of people that watch the show, A, aren't subscribed to our YouTube, but B, they only listen to the first 18 minutes anyway.
Yeah, and
Right?
and most of them are coming from the great state of Iowa. So
Iowa.
yeah. So the latest stats I
Iowa.
checked. Yeah. Hey, Iowa. The latest stats I checked just before we started, and there's more listeners in the States than what there are in Canada right now for the podcast. I don't know about the YouTube, but just on the podcast side. There's more listeners in the States than there are in Canada. And the state that's got the most listeners is Iowa.
So speaking of Iowa, that is where my second brown dog is from.
Really?
Zeus. Zeus
Now,
is
is
from,
that praising Iowa, or is that putting it down?
he's from Crescent, Iowa. So I'm pretty sure if I were to stand on the guy's roof, I could see Nebraska like that. Like,
Oh, you can watch your dog run away for fucking a week.
You can see Saskatchewan and Alberta too. Probably.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was like legit, like the other side of Iowa. I could stand on his guy. I could. What's like the big town in Nebraska? Des Moines.
No, Des
No,
Moines.
that's Iowa.
Des Moines is in Iowa.
Lincoln, Nebraska.
Lincoln.
Lincoln's
Lincoln,
big
yeah.
town.
I don't know. There was a town, and I could pretty much see it if I were to stand on the guy's roof. Like that's how far west in like Iowa was.
Do we have to share screen?
Remember, I think that Texas and California are side by side. So
Side by
Omaha.
each.
Omaha?
Omaha, Nebraska. Omaha.
Omaha.
Mhm. I think they have
Hey,
a.
man,
I think
Sioux City?
Omaha doesn't Omaha have a East Coast hockey team?
Yeah, Omaha.
I believe they have an East Coast hockey team. Which
Yeah,
is
Yeah,
weird.
so Zeus is from Crescent, Iowa, and yeah, Omaha is like right there.
Cool.
Sure,
Julio.
it was a
Oh,
pain in the ass to find. I'll tell you
I
that.
do have to say this though. Adam Smith, who runs the social media for Real Geese, messaged me the other day. I forgot to tell you guys this. He messaged me the other day and he said, well, he wanted some stickers. He ordered a hoodie and some stuff. Anyways, and he wanted some stickers sent out to him.
That's
So I was like,
awesome. Thank you,
so-
Adam.
so I sent him some stickers. He was like, "Oh, and I heard that Craig volunteered me to take you guys hunting. So I'm in Michigan. So whenever you guys want to come down," he said, "I'd love to have you guys down to go hunting." And so it's working,
Adam,
guys.
that
It's
is
working. We're getting
mighty
invited.
generous of you.
Yeah, it is. It is, and it's
Thank
awesome.
you, Adam.
Um,
You're a stand-up guy.
so,
That's awesome.
boys, we may be going international next year. Next season, we are going international. We're going to do a podcast in the States, in the hunting blind,
America.
somewhere in America.
America.
And
And
I'm
we're
going to
gonna
do it
smuggle
with
a shit
airs.
ton of. We're gonna smuggle a shit ton of bird dog back.
Well,
Shit.
hey,
if you get caught, it's expensive.
Hey, it's only illegal if you get caught.
hey, listen, you don't even
my
know how
groceries-
much you're paying for those 2 bottles of fucking bird dog.
I'm
that I
sorry.
got
You
for
mean
you.
one?
No, 2. No, I didn't give Brian a fucking bottle of bird dog. I wouldn't do that to you. You still got your 2 bottles, but you don't know how much you're paying for it because Jeff Coates got hammered at the border when he was bringing that across for me. So,
Clearly, Jeffrey doesn't know how to import stuff.
well, when the border services guy absolutely tears your truck apart because you are the only truck crossing the border in New
it's
Brunswick.
a slow day.
It's a slow day, and it was
That's
training
problematic.
They're,
Day. Yeah,
they're
I think
making
it was training day.
they're making up for when they close the border.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I talked about it on here before, but when they closed the border, like it was like, oh, you're Canadian, just keep going. Just
Yeah.
like
Just send it.
I got like 40 bottles in the back. Like, nope, just keep going. And now
Yeah.
it's like, ooh, shit, a lot of stuff got through. We better check and there's nobody going through. So it's
Yeah.
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 So-
So, with that, fellas, you know what? Congratulations,
here's
boys. Okay. Yep.
Do you think the price of hunting gear and the price of like hunting gear in general is going to go up because I think it's this weekend it changes that truckers going through the border have to have vaccines.
Probably
They're already talking about
COVID
like,
tax.
Yeah.
they're already talking about food
Bullshit.
shortages and shit, right? So we
That's,
just wait.
you know what? Fuck, without going down a rabbit hole, man, that's just fucking fear mongering. And that's all it is. the same amount of food is going to come across, the same amount of stuff. Someone's going to, you can be sure as there's shit in a dead cat, someone's going to try and make some extra money off this. There's not going to be any fucking shortages. The trucks are still going to go. Sure, there may be some truckers that's not vaccinated, but I bet you most part they all are. And it's no. I tell you, my rebuttal to that question, Dave, is that I am hoping, I really am hoping that, and let's face it, most of our waterfowl hunting gear comes from companies south of the border in the US. I am hoping that we see more North American, made in America products, because I think when they crunch their numbers and the shipping and the delays that they're experiencing with the ships out in port, I think it's just as cheap for them to get it made in America now. I don't think there's any difference in price, just with the extra bullshit that they got to go through. So I'm hoping, I don't think you're going to see a difference in price, but I think you'll see a difference in quality.
Well, I can attest to this, that one of my favorite made in US companies.
Yeah.
No big deal. There's been a big transition to offshore, I don't know what the proper term is, not here made stuff.
Really? They're switching?
Yeah. Huge. Like, I may have a few items from said company, and the tags do not say made in America
Anymore.
Yeah. It's
Where did
unfortunate.
Mark go?
Hold on, working on it.
Oh,
He's still here. Dave's not here, man.
Dave's not
They're
here.
not here, man.
Well, boys, I tell you what, about 10 minutes ago, I said that we're just rambling on and we should end.
Easy,
Excuse
Corey.
me. And you know what? We've hit that hour mark, I believe. So,
Yeah.
so Corey Baker, we're still going for an hour. Screw you. I don't even think that Corey listens to the show anymore. So
I don't know. But if he does, we still love you, Corey.
I'm pretty sure if he did, we'd get messages about us making fun of him for
Corey's, well, maybe now that the season's done and Corey stopped grinding, maybe
Sure.
now.
Very good. Very
But
good.
Corey's still solid shit.
Mark, are you coming back on for the round table, or are you?
I'm hearing audio. For some reason, my camera's not on the. It's on the
That's because
fritz.
you're not using an Apple product, but I'm just saying. Anyways,
Yeah, that's exactly
Hey,
why.
you don't need a camera for a podcast.
That's right.
everybody, thank you so much for watching episode 78. We'll do a quick round table here. Philly,
To the masses that waterfowl hunt, please. Obviously, the podcasters are not going to see this, but the YouTubers will. Your paper regs, for the love of Christ, please read them. If you need any clarification, please reach out to us, because we all have copies of these and we are literate for the most part, except Damien. He can't speak English, but we can understand.
I can read. I just can't speak.
Yeah, good point. That is true. But again, we I can honestly say this week, like, we're super thankful. Somebody reached out to us and like, hey, like, here's a conundrum. Can we
Big time.
rectify this? And that's awesome. Like we preach this over and over. Like, if you want to see some content, this and that, reach out to us. And someone did. Finally. It only took like 70 something episodes.
No, we've had lots of people that have reached out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't know that. You run the pages. I fucking know.
Yeah. No, we've had lots of people that reached out to us and we've answered stuff. So it's just this one we actually engaged.
Normal day. I'm left in the fucking dark. Anyways. But we appreciate
You're eye candy, buddy. You're not here for your brains. You're here for your looks.
Whatever.
Sugar daddy.
Anyway, because there's no S in fucking anyway. For all the millions of listeners, watchers, YouTubers, subscribers, all that other nonsense. Again, we thank you for the interaction. please continue to watch, subscribe, smash some buttons, some other nonsense. But yeah, again, if you want to see some content, you got comments, concerns, questions, please reach out to us. We greatly appreciate it, and we will incorporate said content into the shows. And yeah, David, on to you.
No,
Well,
Merc.
you know what? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, don't steal my fucking thunder.
Well, you go to
Dave.
Merc. Dave is
Hey,
always.
Jesus fuck. Ryan, on to you.
Merc.
Don't.
I was gonna say, where's Ryan?
Dave's not here, man.
Ryan's not here, man.
All right,
Well,
Merc.
boys. Once
Anyway.
again, another good show. They're always good shows, boys. Always. Really went well. I was glad with how our educational piece went. Thanks, Phil, for story time when you did, and hopefully we'll have something like that to go on next time too.
Yeah.
Thanks to Mark for audio visual time.
Dave.
Hey, good episode. Thanks, guys.
Ooh,
That's
short
it.
and sweet. Short and sweet.
Whoa.
I like it.
Whoa. Whoa, easy.
It's been a long day.
Hey,
Got up pretty
firefighter, very efficient. Firefighter, efficiency. That's what it is. I'm
I'll
sorry,
remember
Phil.
this next time you come down the 401.
I'm sorry, buddy. I just busted.
I
your
don't take
balls.
the 401.
Wasn't
No.
talking to you.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Back to your barbecue.
Everybody, we are as advertised. We do not pretend to be experts. We're just a bunch of dudes, love one another's company, love chatting with one another, busting one another's balls, and the odd time we actually answer some questions. So we love you for listening. We love you for commenting. This is episode 78. We'll see you next week. Big love.